to Nantahala Trading Post. I am Sheclimbstrees, and I will be instructing you with the lesson today, how to make a knife sheath. Here at Nantahala Trading Post, we specialize in Native American and Mandivius style clothing and accessories. We make a wide variety of handcrafted items. We also offer a huge selection of craft supplies and kits, knives and knife making supplies, botanicals, books, CDs, and DVDs, and a whole new line of instructional DVDs where we teach you how to make the handcrafted items that we make here at Nantahala. Today we're going to make a knife sheath with brass tacks like the ones you see on the table. I will be showing you how to make a pattern for your knife and go step by step to complete your sheath. So let's get started. I have all the tools and supplies laid out on the table, so let's go over them. First, you'll need to figure out which knife you want to make a sheath for. This is about a 12-inch knife. You'll need a piece of leather large enough to accommodate the sheath, and this is a piece of fringe I like to decorate the point of the sheath with. This is a right angle to help us cut a straight line, a pair of leather cutting scissors, utility knife, and a pair of needle nose pliers. A hole punch, a small hammer, some clips to clip the leather together, a pointed tool for drawing our pattern on the leather, and a pencil and paper. First, we're going to lay our knife on the sheet of paper and fold the paper in half. You want to move the knife over about 1 inch from the center fold and just draw a line around it. Remove the knife and cut out the pattern. We're going to be working mainly with the left side of the sheath. Come down about 2 inches and over about 1 and draw a circle. Come down about 3 inches from that and draw another circle. This area is going to be the opening for the belt to go through. I like to copy my pattern over onto a lightweight piece of cardboard. It makes it easier to work with. We're just going to lay our pattern on the leather. Take our sharp utensil and trace around the pattern. We're going to mark these 2 points that we made on our pattern so that we can punch holes right where we want them. Now it's time to cut our knife sheath out. With our knife sheath cut out, we're ready to punch the holes and start the opening for the belt. All of the supplies that you see on the table are supplies that we sell online. And I'm going to take, with the holes punched, I'm going to take my right angle and place it just like this so that I can draw a straight line to connect those two holes. This bottom bar on the right angle will keep me from cutting too far. With one side cut, I'm going to turn it around and cut the other side. And remove that piece of leather. Now fold the sheath in half, just so we can kind of get our center point for the tip. Then open it back up. Place the pattern back on the sheath. Put the edge of the pattern about 3/8 of an inch from the belt opening. With your sharp instrument, just draw a line to the top. This will be the line that we'll follow to put in the first row of brass tacks. Now we're ready to fold it back over and take our leather clips and clip it together. These will hold it in place while we put in our tacks. If your edges don't line up exactly, don't worry about it. We can trim that away later. Now insert this piece of fringe right in the tip, far enough in so that our first tack will catch it. Now we're ready to start the tacks. I like to use low dome, size 5/16 to 7/16 size brass tacks. And we're going to take the first one and put it right here in the tip. A poly cutting board helps. The tips of the tacks are actually going to go down into the poly board and hold it in place. We're going to go right up this line that we drew with our first row of tacks. You can pull off your clips as you go. It's trying to get away from me. There's no set pattern for the tacks. I try to just put them kind of an even distance apart. I'm going to proceed all the way up to the top. I've completed the first row of tacks. Now we're going to pull it off of the poly board. And on the back side, you can see all the points of the tacks through this side. We can remove all the clips. The tacks will hold it together at this point. We're ready to turn the tacks with our needle nose pliers. Just grab a hold of each tack and turn. We're going to right up this line. A real good solid pair of needle nose pliers makes it much easier. I'm going to continue working kind of in a straight line so that it makes the back a little decorative. And just going right on up to the top. Now that we have our first row of tacks curled under, we're going to take our hammer and just hammer them down. It helps to hammer in a forward direction, the same direction as you curled them. With our first row of tacks hammered down, we now can turn it over and cut the opening through to the back side of the sheath. So we're just going to go right into the corners and punch 2 more holes. That way our belt can go all the way through. We'll use the front as a pattern for cutting through to the back. Be careful not to cut too far. And then pull that piece out. At this time, we can even up the leather edge if it didn't come out totally straight. Just trim it off. Careful not to cut your fringe off. Now we're ready to start the second row of tacks. We're going to start back down here at the point and just go up this outer edge. Kind of filling them in where they look right. As we come up the edge, we can fill in the gap in between the two rows. Just by adding another tack. I usually put between 50 to 60 tacks on a knife sheath. And I'll just continue in the same way up to the top. When you get to the top of both of these rows, it works best if you'll go ahead and skip one and then put one in at the top and then go back and add in between. Now we'll pull this off the board like we did before. And now we have 2 more rows of tacks to turn under. And we'll just work them in a straight line like we did before. The tighter you can do this turn in the point, the easier it'll be to hammer it down nicely. And I'll just continue on till I get all the way to the top. I've got all the points curled down, and now we're ready to start hammering them into the leather. By hammering them into the leather, it makes it to where no one gets stuck by a tack. As before, in that forward motion, we just hammer down. We've got them all hammered down. At this point, if you see anything else that you need to trim off, just trim that edge. Then we can take the scissors and insert them through the belt slot. And just run them back and forth, and that'll kind of clean up that inside there. And then we're going to take the back side of the scissors and run them up the edge. And that'll kind of smooth all that out and bond it together. All the way to the top. And there's our knife sheath. Now for the real test, let's see if the knife fits. Slide in with the blade towards the tacks. And in it goes. Perfect fit. Thank you for joining us here at Nantahala Trading Post. I hope you enjoyed this project. If this was your first leathercraft project, please watch for more instructional DVDs coming soon. Please check out our website for all your craft supply needs. Thanks again from Sheclimbstrees.